Hi, Mark here from the Tangent-Bound Podcast Network and host of the flagship show, the Tangent-Bound Podcast. Did you know that we over at Tangent-Bound are always looking for amazing podcasts to promote? And did you also know that we are also proud nerds and geeks of everything from movies, music, gaming, TV shows, and comic books to wrestling, MMA, soccer, and football? Whatever you can nerd or geek out about, we've got it. And if you're interested, we can help you find it. And if you're a show looking for a place to call home, we've got you covered. Side effects may include upset stomach, dizziness, tumors, shakes, and in some rare cases, death from excessive laughter. Though to be fair, it's only sometimes. Other side effects may include diarrhea, gallstones, heart palpitations, and strong desire for cookies on the dark side. Talk to your doctor and visit TangentBoundNetwork.com and see if Tangent-Bound Network is right for you.
This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Hello, and welcome to the Moving the Needle podcast, where we ask, what moves you? Excellent or bogus? Did anyone do the right thing? Do you mess with the Zohan? With me tonight to discuss Do the Right Thing, Rocky vs. Creed, childhood, guilty pleasures, a test of time, you don't mess with the Zohan, once upon a time in Hollywood. With me tonight is Stephanie.
Hello.
Roy. Hello. And Henno. Yo, we want to thank you for listening on iTunes. We're also available on Spotify, just about everywhere you can find podcasts. We are, so come on now, Google Let Play. Us know. Email us at mtnpodcast@gmail.com or on facebook.com/mtnpod. Twitter and tweet us at mtnpod. There's so many ways to find us.
Crisis for the geek kind. Top geek officials admit they underestimated the hipsters' defense capability. Join the geek revolution and save the galaxy. Geeks from all over the globe are joining up to fight for the future. They're doing their part. Are you? Want to know more? Join Weeby Geeks and the Geek Revolution and save the world. Service guarantees citizenship. Listen to Weeby Geeks podcast on iTunes and Stitcher or online at WeebyGeeks.net. Weeby Geeks, your voice for the Geek Revolution. Want to know more?
Welcome to the podcast from Temperance Town, the sexiest podcast of world renowned. Tony grows a beard to hide his chin, swabs it with Earl so it glistens. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Download the pod, you won't get enough of these dapper chaps talking deadly fluff. In Hobo Gulch they run a homeless mission, clanging and banging with the pentagram of kittens. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. They enjoy their whiskey and local craft beer. By Odin's unkempt pubis we give a cheer. Tony's a raccoon when he's booziest. Don't be a savage, be an enthusiast. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. On the frozen tundra they call it a lock. Tony likes to masturbate in a sock. Brian pisses rocks cause it feels so great. I still don't know who the fuck is Tate. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. The boys will let you know when there's a spurler. Due to male pattern baldness, they don't wear curlers. Stay salty, people, that's their closing line. And don't forget, have a beer, you'll be fine. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty language.
「
language.
「 language. 」 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 language.
enthusiasts, what's happening? This is Salty Language episode 442.
The sexiest podcast on the network.
Dude,
Hey, Brian, how's it going, man?
Not too bad. How you doing, Tommy?
Dude, I'm all right.
We're almost at 450 of these things.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
Ay, caramba. I mean, realistically, we are inching between this and the enthusiast. I mean, we've almost generated 500 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have 49 enthusiasts.
I know.
Jeez.
It's wild, isn't it?
Man, that's a lot. Yeah, and we're not doing, twice a week gimmicks, like a lot of the podcasts that you see
every
with
week.
tons
The only
of
time it's twice a week is when we drop an enthusiast, but that doesn't count.
Right.
Because it's not a Salty Language proper.
Right. It's a Salty Language presents.
Exactly.
I wish...
That's what makes it crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Mm.
Good shit. Well, whatever,
It's very good shit.
Yeah. Shows how stubborn we are, Despite the internet's best efforts to tell us they're not interested, we just keep on going.
Yeah, fuck you. We just march forward.
Yep.
I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah, you're definitely not wrong
That'll
there.
teach ya.
That shit's funny.
Mm.
Ha ha ha, that's funny.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. So how's your week been?
It's been all right, man. I mean, it's been cold. I was last week, I think I did last week, I was bitching about my, how work was sucking because they were cutting hours.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, did that not, that change in a hurry.
Back to normal.
I mean, I'm assuming next week it's, business as usual, but, they're like, no overtime. No, I worked probably, I don't know, almost 50 hours last week, so.
Yeah. Not bad.
No overtime, except now we're buried. Shit, we need to work overtime to unbury ourselves.
Funny how that works, eh?
Funny how that works. Yeah. But no, I'm all right, man. I'm all right. It's been
That's good.
It's been kind of a chill week, which I like. I mean, started a new D&D campaign with my kiddos, thanks to my son.
Damn you and your kiddos. Yeah.
Because he was like, he was doing his own little, that's what I'm looking for, his own campaign with him and his wake of us and with his friends.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, it's getting too much for me to keep track of all this stuff.
Okay.
He's like, so I'm just gonna do this normal, campaign. What the hell did I just do?
I don't know, but you're sideways now.
Yeah, I
For those who can't see, on Skype, for some reason, all of a sudden, our horizontal orientation to the video just went vertical.
Is it good now?
It's good now, yeah.
Yeah, my whole screen went like that. And so it's like, the fuck just happened? So I shouldn't. I'm trying to fiddle. I was looking. We're sitting here talking. I'm looking at my wallpaper on my extended monitor. I'm like, I don't like the way it looks. So I'm fiddling with my settings as we're talking. I shouldn't do that.
No, I guess not, huh?
All right. Okay, I'm done fiddling.
Yeah.
So we start a new campaign doing that. D&D's fun, Brian.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
That's what I've heard.
It's fun, even more fun playing with my kids and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's cool that, you're getting that opportunity to do that. So.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. It has been. Oh, dude, you know what we've been watching this week?
What's that?
Not The Mandalorian, which I should be watching.
Yeah.
But over the weekend, we tapped our veins into The Witcher.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty good. I've never played the games, never read the books. I don't know anything about the universe.
Right. From what I know, I'm pretty sure it's based on the books, not the games. But
either way, I have no idea.
I don't either. Good. I'm the same as you. I've never played the games and never read the books, and I've heard both are pretty good. So I'm sure I'm just missing out. But
yeah, I kind of want to play the game now, to be honest.
Yeah.
And
if I could find the time to read, here I'm like, I'd love to sit down and play the game for like 8 hours, but I don't know about reading.
It's so sad, isn't it?
Is it? It really is, isn't it?
Because when you play the game, though, you feel like you're doing something, even though you're not.
Yeah.
But it's like, why is that doing something, but reading isn't? Like, I went through this with my brain for a while, too.
Well, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, how it's like a muscle, like if you don't do push-ups, you better start doing push-ups, then you can do push-ups, like reading.
Right.
If you want to read, you just got to read.
Right.
And,
Exactly.
and eventually you're going to be dialed in. Like, I remember when I was a kid, I would plow through books.
Me too. Yep.
I'd read like 2 books a week or more sometimes, just because that's all I did.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, book? Ooh. Let me read a couple pages. Oh, what's going on my phone?
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
What's on the TV?
Right. Well, and that's obviously the problem is that, to read, how sad is it that to read, when we were kids, like you'd get a book, you go outside and just, like we had that picnic table behind my house. I used to go just sit at the picnic table and just read, when it was nice outside, and whatever. And now it's like, God, I have to have like a quiet room. I might need noise canceling headphones. I can't have my phone anywhere near me, like.
Oh, see, I'm the opposite. I'll spend 50 minutes trying to figure out what my perfect reading soundtrack is going to be.
I can't do that anymore.
But it needs to be instrumental. If it has lyrics, I'll dial into the
No.
lyrics.
Like, I used to read comic books to whatever I was listening to at the time. I used to read books and I'd have music going or whatever, and I'd have high retention and whatever, Now I can't stay focused, and I think it's like we talked a few weeks about that, the way the internet has made us all TLDR,
Yeah, for sure.
I'm with you. It's like I cannot have lyrics going if I'm trying to read, if any, or even talking. Like when I was in school, and I had to listen to the lectures from the teacher or whatever, or read the whatever, I could not have any other noise going on in the house. I couldn't have the TV on or a radio or any, or music playing or anything. I had to turn the Victrola off and,
shut off the Lone Ranger program.
Right. So, but I've definitely gotten to where, that's why that neuroscientist and the one thing I talked about a few weeks ago was basically how she's done the same thing. Is it's like, no, now I have dedicated reading time. I have to, make sure your phone is nowhere in the vicinity of you, so you can't even see it light up or anything, because that'll still trigger the distraction.
Right, I believe it.
So yeah, it's much harder. I remember hearing, was it Schwarzenegger, I think, when he was on Tim Ferriss, I think, talked about that. Like, when he reads, like, he doesn't even take his phone or iPad or anything, like, into his bedroom. Like, he takes his book in there. That way he can't be distracted while he's reading by that stuff,
Right.
So, and that's like me. It's like for a while I was reading on my phone/iPad, and then it's like, yeah, but if I do, that distraction is right there.
Yeah, you get these little notifications that keep popping up.
Well, even if you don't, you start twitching because it's been X amount of time since you checked,
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I'll just check real quick. I'll come back,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I've heard a lot of mixed stuff on The Witcher. I've heard a lot of people say you have to give it like 3 episodes to really hook you.
My one complaint is the timelines are all kind of fucked up through the show.
Okay.
And they don't really explain it, but I'm assuming by the time I get to the end of the 8th episode, it's all going to make sense.
That's kind of what I was wondering too, is maybe this is all just world build, and that's why it's all kind of messed up early.
Well, because it's like first episode stuff happens, people die, right?
Sure.
We watched the 5th episode this morning, and some of the people that died in the first episode are there.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And I was like, and it's like, what? And then I was like, oh, it's because now they're explaining this backstory, but they don't say, like, 40 years ago or whatever.
Okay.
It's just the show. And then it's cutting into stuff that's happening in real time as well. So the timeline kind of fucked me a little bit. But all in all, I dig the show. Here's my impression of The Witcher. So he goes, a lot. And he goes, fuck. But I dig it. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
Henry Cavill he does a fine job in it.
Yeah.
Well, it's,
And he gets to wear that luxurious wig of his.
Yeah, it's actually, because I try to, whenever there's a show I want to watch, I try to avoid all spoilers as possible, which is hard to do because I like perusing silly memes and shit.
Well, especially when you're wanting to watch something that everybody's been watching recently, because everybody on the internet's like, yay, with the spoilers. So, yeah, it's tough.
So the old, the toss a coin to the Witcher song, I didn't know what the hell that meant. Now I get it.
Yeah, I didn't either, and I've seen tons of Twitter lines about it more than anything.
Right.
So, yeah.
I saw a great little post, I can't remember if it was on Twitter or whatever, but it was someone who worked at a Ren Fair talking about how, just prepare everybody for next season that's coming, the season coming up.
Yeah.
Is that everyone's going to be using their retired Daenerys Targaryen wigs to play The Witcher now. And that we should all carry plastic coins to toss coins to The Witcher. Which I think is fantastic.
Yeah, fair enough.
But boy, that person's 100% right. Because when you go to Ren Fair and you see people dressed up like Jack Sparrow, and there's going to be so many Witchers at Ren Fairs now.
I just love the fact that, I mean, it's all for fun. Everyone's just having a good time and stuff. But it's just funny how that's kind of not in the vein of what they're supposed to be.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a period thing, I'm going to be like a noble woman from this time period.
Right.
People dress up as you see Link walking around.
Right.
Or Rick and Morty. I saw Rick and Morty walking around, which kind of makes sense.
I mean, that goes to the Star Trek thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're just in that dimension for the time being.
Yeah. What the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, but The Witcher, I like.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't started it yet because I mentioned this, was it last week or whatever, about my freaking data caps, and I've just not been able to watch anything for weeks now. I finally can. It finally reset, so now I can finally carefully start watching some stuff. So I don't know. I need to finish Watchmen. That's the first thing I'm going to do. So
right.
Which, really quick, while we're on the topic, did you see Damon Lindelof left the show? And basically, it looks like there's not going to be any more seasons.
Oh, really? Well, I haven't watched any of it.
Yeah. I guess I didn't read why he walked away. I probably should have. I didn't. And HBO basically has said that they're not going to pursue a second season. Because I think without him on, he wrote a lot of the stuff for season 1. So.
Right.
I think they were kind of like, without him, why, basically. So, and I don't know how the season ends up yet, so I don't know if it's how it wrapped, but it's kind of a shame because, I know a lot of people are disappointed by that because we were all, kind of hoping it would keep going, but.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Yeah. So,
I mean, like I said, I haven't watched it, but.
Yeah.
The fact that it's out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And. It's always kind of sad when you see something like that, but yeah. Lindelof just isn't interested in doing it. So he must have told the story, that he wanted to tell. Cause, where is it? Says I'm trying to see whose quote this is. Oh, there it is. HBO programming chief Casey Bloys told USA Today, says it's really in Damon's thinking about what he wants to do. If there's an idea that excited him about another season, another installment, maybe like a Fargo, true detective anthology take on it, or if he wants to do something different altogether. We're very proud of Watchmen, but I'm most interested in what Damon wants to do. And Lindelof told USA Today that he's told the story he wants to tell and has no interest in a second season, though he's given his blessing to HBO should it want to pursue a new installment or another writer-producer. And HBO basically said it'd be, they just don't see it happening without Lindelof. So,
hard no, bud.
Yeah. So there you go.
Well, what do you know?
I'm sure HBO is disappointed by that because it did really well for them. Like the ratings and stuff were pretty good on it. So
yeah,
I'm sure they were hoping to get 5 to 7 years out of this.
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Well, yeah. So there you go.
I guess it's one of those "it is what it is" kind of situations, huh?
Yep. Yeah, there's nothing, if HBO's not going to pursue it without Lindelof and he has no interest in it, sounds like it's dead in the water.
Dead in the water.
So I guess we'll just have to enjoy what season 1 was, which I'm only like halfway through, so I don't even know. I can't even be like, oh, it was a masterpiece or what, I don't know, because you know how it is. The endings make a big difference on these things.
Well, yeah, that's true. It could be really good. Wow, look at Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm surprised.
Just saying.
I'm surprised you didn't look for a sound clip of that to use.
I should have.
Oh man.
I should find a Witcher sound clip would be cool.
Yeah.
I should do that. I gotta unplug. See, my soundboard's all fucked up right now because I was charging it. Because of course, when I fired it up, I was like, "Oh, it's at like 13%."
Nice.
So we're good now, ish.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've trying to think. Like, I haven't been able to really watch anything, but I've been doing or listening to a lot of podcasts.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, I'm in one of those grooves again where I'm really like burning through stuff that I have a big backlog of, like Star Talk.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Neil deGrasse Tyson podcast. I have like 60 of them on my iPad.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, what I'm doing though is going through, and if it's one that really piques my interest, then I'm listening. If it isn't, then I'm kind of, skipping it.
Right.
But I've gone quite I've listened to quite a few of those, and I'll listen to like a few of those, and then I'll jump into another podcast, or if like over the weekend, not a lot of new episodes come out for other shows, so that I'm really powering through it then. Then when the week starts, you'll start having all the other shows you listen to, they'll start dropping. So I'll go through and listen to all the new episodes and then go back to, just powering through whatever I'm listening to. So
I am still like I've really pared my podcasting down for what I used to, because I used to spend fucking 8-9 hours on the road every day.
Right.
So I had plenty of time to listen to pod. Now I don't.
Right.
And I'm so far behind. And also it's one of those things. I'm like, I've been listening to a lot of music again.
Yeah.
And that cuts into it because I'm like, like if I'm cleaning up the house, I'm like, do I want to hear kind of hear people yelling out dick jokes like from across the room,
right?
Or I just want to have some like sweet jams going,
right? That's part of my issue. You remember I was talking last week about how I have so many video games I haven't really tucked into yet.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it the other night. I actually think that has a lot to do with it. Is that I listen to a lot of my podcasts while I'm playing video games. Like I'll play Madden. Well, I don't need the commentary in Madden because it gets annoying after like 2 games.
Yeah, because it's all the same shit.
Yeah, and pretty much fill in the blank there for any sports game you play. It gets old really fast.
Yeah.
So I just listen to podcasts. Well, if I'm going to play Borderlands, I want to hear the audio because there's jokes and shit in there. So I can't listen to the podcast. So I'm wondering if like part of the reason with some of these games I haven't really dug into them is they're ones where I'm like, oh, I need to hear what's going on in there.
Like if you want to play Call of Duty, you for sure need to hear people's footsteps.
Exactly. So I can't listen to podcasts, right? But whereas like GTA, you need to hear certain elements of audio. Like if it's a story progression moment. Like what's funny, they had a recent update where you can get an arcade now. Like you can buy arcades. Well,
right.
The point of it is there's a big heist where you're trying to rob the casino, basically. And you have to get the arcade because underneath the arcade, for some reason, there's, this massive area that you plan everything in. But, I completely didn't hear what I'm supposed to do next. So, I mean, it's on the internet. I can find it.
Like,
No
I'm sure
problem.
you could find
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And in fact, if I go back into it, I may be able to just within the game find it. But, I was listening to something, to a podcast, and then I was like, oh shit, I probably should have listened.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So, yeah, I absolutely have no clue. I mean, I know, like, when you go into the casino or the arcade you've bought, it is a dump. So basically, it's like, okay, well, I'm sure you have to probably go secure. By secure, I mean steal video games.
Yeah.
Or something to that ilk to upgrade the place.
Yeah, make it sweet.
Yeah. So
make it look like what was it, Flynn's from the original Tron?
Yeah, nice.
Hell yeah.
Because for like the club, like you remember that night when we were playing and you helped me go steal that truck with the sound system.
DJ truck.
Yeah. So, I'm sure it's just quests like that to set it up and then whatever. I just haven't done it yet. So I need to, because it generates an income. So
yeah, fair enough.
And from what I've read, it's it's basically like the better the games you have in it, the more money you make. So I assume that you set it up initially and then you can probably buy games or...
Yeah.
Can you
play the games, though?
I don't know. I mean, there are games you can play, arcade games you can play in GTA, because I have some in my penthouse.
Right.
That come with one part of the penthouse. There's like 2 or 3 games in there. So, I'm sure there's something, but... Because that'd be cool.
I mean, you know what they should really do? And maybe they have, I don't even know it, is they should have an arcade game you can play that's like the original Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, that would be funny.
The overhead driving one,
Yeah, that would be funny.
That would be fun.
I would dig that.
Yeah.
I would probably play
bro.
that. Yeah. Good call. Suggest that to him.
Right?
Like, hey, do it.
Hey, bitches.
Do it.
Yeah, I've actually, I played a little Call of Duty over the weekend, so it was a little double XP.
Yeah.
But man, sometimes I'm like, I can't play with these people.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah.
You just get frustrated because it's just like, camping or it's just, I'm just like.
Why aren't you guys trying to take the objective?
Yes, because I play objective-based shit and there's people that just run around trying to get kills.
Yep.
It's like, what do you...
Because they don't understand how the game works. They don't, it is, they're so used to the way Call of Duty used to work, where the way you got all your points and stuff was from kills.
It's like, go play Team Deathmatch.
Yeah, they don't understand that when you're doing the objective ones, you get a ton of points by doing objectives.
Yeah.
That's kind of the goal, is objective. That's why it's called objective-based, not Team Deathmatch.
Right. So then I switched over to the story.
Yeah.
Because I've played a couple missions. It's good. Mm. And man, I played one that was just so heavy.
Yeah.
Like it was like a flashback scene of one of the main characters, and it's her as a child, and you're like sneaking around the house trying to get away from this Russian soldier, and you have to, the dude kills your dad in front of you. It was a whole thing.
Wow. It
was like so heavy, and you're like this kid's. Holding this big old revolver and shit at one point.
Wow. Jeez. See, that's actually why I haven't dove into the single player on this one. Was I've heard from various people that it's really intense.
It is.
And with my anxiety, man, honestly, what I'm afraid of is I'm afraid of a game essentially sending me into a panic attack.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, it's weird because it almost sounds silly, but it isn't, because I can feel my anxiety and certain things really, really ramping up. It's why I don't do well with the sneaky games anymore.
Right.
Like I can't even play Assassin's Creed anymore because it's too much sneaky for me. Like I need. Plus it's not my style anyway, I mean, I don't...
Yeah, you're kick the door in and blood and guts.
I mean, not always, you think about it, my other strength in Halo was to go find snipers, so...
Yeah, fair enough.
I'd sneak up behind them, so...
Yeah.
I used to be decent at that, but yeah, I can't play games, or like Hitman, I just can't. I mean, although in fairness, Hitman, you can approach from different angles.
Oh yeah, you can go in heavy if you want.
Right, it's not... easy, but you can do it that way. So, but anyway, yeah, I try to avoid a lot. Like I've heard there's like even like the new Resident Evil stuff. I'm like, God, I want to play it so bad because I remember I love Resident Evil, you know, but
Right.
I'm also like, yeah, I don't know that I can play those anymore. Like I think my anxiety is just too much of a monster on its own, you know, like.
Oh man, like when I was done with that mission, I was like, whew. And I waited for like your game's been saved little thing to come up, and I'm like, all right. I had to switch it over, and I was like, I gotta play some like Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
So I set up some like Maple Tree taps and just relaxed and fished.
Right.
Know?
Well, that's a perfect reason why I have games like that.
Yeah, I was like, I can't play it in our
Yeah,
like this,
right?
know?
Or why I go to like sports games because they're just so mindless. Because I've played them a million times that they're not mindless, but you know what I'm saying. Like you can just sit there and play it, and you don't feel like you're heavily mentally invested in playing a game of Madden.
Oh yeah.
So that's why a lot of times at night I'll switch to like the last game I play will be like everybody's golf. It's just a golf game. That's it. Nothing fancy. It's just a golf game. It's not even like
chilling.
Yeah, it's not even like one of those like upper level golf games. I mean, it's good, it's tough, but it's not. It's not like playing those EA Sports golf games where, they're much harder. But
right.
And it's actually why I probably will get Stardew Valley at some point because I do kind of miss having a game like that. I used to play Animal Crossing at night as my last game for that exact reason.
Oh yeah, I mean,
it's just relaxing. It's easy. You don't have to overthink anything. There's no real tension in it.
Yeah, I mean, you can make tension in it because like one day it was raining. I'm like, sick rain. I don't have to worry about watering my garden. This is awesome.
Yeah.
And so I just like geared up and went mining all day, and you like fight monsters in the mine and shit. I mean, but you don't have to do that.
But you could just go fishing or whatever.
You can just go fishing if you want, or you can put up a new fence and hoe some dirt and plant more seeds.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm not sneaking around the house from a crazy Russian soldier just killed my family.
Yeah, right. Jeez.
With a pair of scissors in my hand.
Wow. Man, that's intense just listening to it. That seems like a lot.
It
Jesus.
was.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, I mean, I don't say this lightly, because obviously, doing a podcast on mental health and shit, but it's like, I've always kind of wondered if playing enough of these kind of games can give somebody like a PTSD kind of situation.
I don't know.
Maybe not a major one, but,
I mean, if they get super invested in it, I can see it.
Right? That's kind of what I was thinking. And some of these games you kind of do,
Yeah.
Like, I've heard about a couple, what were they called? Shit, they were back on, like, the GameCube or whatever. There were some that were, like, really, like, horror-type games. But, I can't remember what they're called now. Shit. But there were a couple that I know back then I knew some people who, like, would have to not play the game for a few weeks.
Well, there was a GameCube game that I loved.
Yeah.
It was a horror game. It was called Eternal Darkness.
That's it. That's the one. Yep.
Yeah, and it dealt with like Cthulhu stuff.
Yeah.
And as your character lost sanity, the game would get really insane.
Right.
Like to the point, like you'd think, like what's wrong? Is it glitching or is this the game? It was crazy. It was one of those ones that kind of broke the fourth wall. You know?
Right. I've heard it was an amazing game though. I don't think I ever played it.
So cool.
I don't know how I never played that because I'm sure you were probably like, "Hey, you should play this" because we do that all the time.
It was so good.
Yeah. I don't know why I wouldn't have played. Maybe you know what? That was probably right around the time when I was working a lot of hours.
Yeah,
so
fair enough.
that might be because I remember a long time with my GameCube, I barely touched the thing. Basically, if I played it, I would play like Mario Baseball on it, and that was about all I played on it.
Right.
Or Mario Golf, one of those kind of things, and that was it for a long time because I just was exhausted. Yeah, I'd play it like for half an hour or an hour.
Right.
So.
I got a cat down here looking out the basement window. Yeah, do not jump on my podcast stuff.
Right.
I will roundhouse your ass.
Wow, that's harsh. Oh man. So
yeah, I hear you. It is kind of a thing that makes you wonder if.
Yeah, I don't know if there's
like
been
games
any.
might give you slightly complex.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not
obviously,
I'll never say like violent games cause violent
no.
actions. I'll never say that.
No, I'm not even alluding to that at all. I'm just meaning the kind of, when you play certain kind of games, you do kind of take on. Well, I mean, you become the character, essentially, and like you said. You know how it is, like with anything, like D&D. There's some people who take D&D way too seriously, and you're like, yeah, and you're like, okay, dude, you're not that character. Like, I appreciate that you want to throw yourself into it, but you're not that character.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's people who do that with video games too. And again, I'm not advocating any changes or anything. I'm just purely curious.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe not, like if you mix up your games enough, it probably isn't too bad. I wouldn't think, cause kind of like just life, you and I mean, I can use us as examples. Like, we've seen some stuff on the internet, like we've seen some ugly, ugly stuff.
Yeah, I've seen stuff that I wish I had never seen.
Same
before.
here, but also,
and I wasn't even seeking it out.
Right, exactly. And it's like, but that stuff doesn't generally like haunt my dreams or anything, I mean, maybe that night or something, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm not having flashbacks to it 5 years later or something generally.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If someone mentions, a guy in a glass jar, I cringe a little bit, but
a little shudder.
Yeah. But yeah. So I don't know, just kind of fun.
Yeah.
Because it is interesting too. I mean, like anything, scary is subjective in some aspects.
Absolutely.
Because what some people call scary, it's like hot food. You know, some people think,
oh my God, this is so spicy.
You're like, dude, they maybe used, a little jalapeno juice in it.
Like,
that's not
bro,
hot.
That's regular Sweet Baby Ray's.
Like, dude, that's ketchup. Although, in fairness, I like to put a little of that Tabasco Chipotle in my ketchup, mix it up, right?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's not hot though. I just like that little
delicious.
smokiness in there. Yeah. Anyway, but I've been playing the NBA Live game a little deeper. Remember, I mentioned how I had gotten those and I barely touched the other games in that.
The EA Sports
Yeah.
Fun Pack or whatever it's called.
Right. And I kind of dig it because, all the games always will have that, where you can play as a, here's your created guy, go through a career. But they have different elements to it too, to where it's not just playing and trying to get like into the NBA, but they have like street ball tournaments that you can play in. And they have a couple different modes that are interesting, and a little different. So, but what's really cool is when you make your dude, like, it doesn't, when you level him up, it's not only in the, this is my NBA player one. Like, when I'm playing street ball, my dude levels up, and then when I play in the NBA mode, my guy still has those achievements.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so I can play different modes. First of all, it helps you level up quicker, but it's cool that I don't have to just play the one mode. I can play different modes and have a little fun, so.
Right.
So I've been kind of digging that. And the games go by pretty quick because, like the street ball ones, you're playing to 21. In the NBA one, you can sim past any point when you're not on the court,
Right.
So you're not sitting there the whole time or whatever. Well, my dude's a starter now, so I'm not sitting much, but it's still, instead of having to, like when you first start out, my dude got 6 minutes a game, so
Right.
There was a lot of but when you can sim past it, it's cool. Most of them have that element now. So, but that's been kind of fun for me. And then, was there something else I played the other night? What the hell was it? I don't remember. Okay, I don't remember. So,
fair enough. It's like I've been digging back into Skyrim again too.
I really need to buy that. I really don't, because
I have a character I was playing that was using mods, but you don't get achievements. So I started a new game so I could get achievements.
Yeah. Well, you remember in GTA it used to be like that? Like if you used any sort of a cheat code, it immediately turned off achievements. So I was always like, damn it.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. What's the point of playing a game with no achievements?
Well, and it's like the mods I was using weren't exactly game-breaking mods.
Oh, okay.
It was like, this one adds a like an upgrade tree, an expanded skill tree to the werewolf class when you become a werewolf.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, that's cool. And the other one was like, made sure merchants had more gold because, you always have all kinds of shit to sell and they always run out of gold on you. So I was like, oh, that's neat. And I think those were the only two I had.
I used to hate that Fable back in the day. Like, what was it, Fable 1 or 2 or whatever? You used to run into that to where they'd run out of gold, and you're like, damn it, I got to travel all the way to this other area to sell shit now.
I got so much shit I got to get rid of.
Yeah. Or melt or
some
whatever.
points, wow. You know what I did discover this week?
What's that?
And it sucks.
What's that?
It's cold out, Brian. Because my car currently... It's parked outside of a mechanic shop because I don't have any heat right now.
So what's the problem?
Oh, yeah, I kind of dealt with it I haven't had heat for a couple months, but it hasn't been that bad.
Yeah.
But the other day I was driving to work and it was like my windows were fogging up and I couldn't defrost them.
I was going to say that ends up being, I mean, don't get me wrong, sitting in cold sucks, but the worst part with the whole concept of driving is the windows fogging up and you cannot do much about it.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta get this fixed. And I looked at the weather and I'm like, it's gonna get cold.
Yeah, you definitely need to get it fixed now. Yeah, winter finally arrived.
It's one of those situations where I'm glad I have a Jeep that's not my everyday driver anymore. It's kind of like my little tinker toy.
Yeah.
Because now the Jeep, I'll just take the Jeep to work, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, because you do have heat in that, so.
Oh, yeah. Sure, it only works on high because there's a little, resistor that I need to replace, but it's fine.
Listen,
it works.
At least it works. I mean, as silly as it sounds, you can always crack the windows a little bit to regulate that.
I just turned it off.
Oh, okay.
That
works.
I got a soft top. It cools off real
quick.
Right,
I wasn't thinking about that. Yeah, right. So.
Yeah, it's either nothing or basically.
It's like melting your face or turn it off. I get it's all right.
Yeah, so that sucks. I didn't find them per se. It's a mechanic that's over by Michelle's old house.
Uh-huh.
And it's been there forever. I know you'll know it. And I put up a post on Instagram about their sign during the summertime. It's called Japanese Auto Repair.
Oh, God, yes, I know. I know exactly what place.
Yeah.
Because that was the place that used to be called Oriental
Yes.
Auto Repair. I'm so glad they at least changed it to Japanese.
Yeah, but they haven't changed the smiley face on the side of the building.
Sure haven't changed the racist emoji.
Yeah, it's got the slant eye smiley face on the side of the building.
Yeah.
And I put up a post, but someone we know was like, man, those guys are great guys. We've been going there forever. And I was like, when my car started acting up, I'm like, maybe I'll just take these guys. I started looking at reviews online.
Yeah.
They had great reviews. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to take it to these guys. Because finding a good mechanic is not easy.
Right. Well,
one you can trust.
And one that's not going to rob you blind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I walked in, I told the dude what's going on in my car, because the catalytic converter needs to be replaced. It's been over a year, it needs to be replaced.
Right.
But it's not a necessary thing, so I haven't done it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, fuck it, let me just pull the trigger. I'll just fix everything.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, let me pull up the catalytic converter. Well, first off, it's clearly a family-owned business, because I walk in, and the woman's like, hey, are you dropping off? I'm like, I just need a quote. I'm like, okay, well, Ben will be out here in a minute. Like, all right. So I'm sitting there playing on my phone. This old guy walks out, like old.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, I'm figuring this must be Ben. I was like, put my phone away. I'm like, oh, I'm real good. How are you? And he's like, I wouldn't want to lie to you, old man, or to you, young man. So I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. And he just put some stuff in like a storeroom and then walked away. And as he's walking back into the office, the young woman that was in there was like, oh, hey, Dad, can you check out this invoice? I got a question about something. He's like, it was gruff. I was like, oh, okay. So father-daughter. I'm like, that guy must be the owner.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So here comes this Ben dude. Another kind of older guy, but maybe in his 50s.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I'm talking to him. He's like, so you got a Buick, Enclave. I'm like, no, that's the big one. I got the small one. I got the little Buick.
Yeah.
Encore. He's like, oh, sorry, my sister doesn't know cars. I'm like, oh, all right.
It's like, okay, we got dad, brother, and sister. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
But no, the dude is a total straight shooter. He's like, let me pull up your catalytic converter online. He looks at it. He's like, yeah, that's He's like, normally I would buy just one and kind of like fab it and weld it into place. With this one, it's going to be a whole thing. He's like, it's not really something you need to get done unless your car stops moving. It's like, it's going to cost you more money, right? And it's like, it's just something you don't need. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, well, I don't have heat either. And in my past experience, that was always the thermostat was like stuck open.
Yeah, right.
So that's what I told him. I'm like, I think it's stuck open. He's like, well, and he started telling me, do you get heat? He was like, I'm like, yeah. I mean, my car heats up fine, but I don't get heat.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, well that's totally different. He's like, this actually might save you some money. We'll just drop it. I gotta take a look at it. He's like, it's either gonna be a real cheap, easy repair, or it's gonna be your heater core. We gotta take your whole dashboard apart to get to that, and that's gonna be expensive.
Right, because of labor, if nothing else. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but I appreciated how the dude was like straight shooter.
Yeah. Right.
And he wasn't trying to like he told me like, yeah, you don't need to get your catalytic converter replaced.
Right. And he easily could have been like, "Oh yeah, this is
because I told him like, hey, I need to get it replaced."
Yeah,
he could have just taken my money.
Could have, yeah.
So I appreciated that, and I was like, if there's, I'll be curious to see how it all goes through. But if it goes fine, I might have to go to the slightly racist auto repair place.
Right. Oh man. And for anyone who hasn't listened in the past when we talked about this more at length, this place has been there for 20, 30 years.
Your website's built in 79 or 78, I think it said on the website.
Okay. I just don't remember them being called that. Wait, that can't be. That used to be a 7-Eleven when we were kids.
It was like maybe they used to be somewhere else.
That has to be, because that was definitely a 7-Eleven when we were children's. So, because I know, like, because Rambo, which is the street right there, my mom used to, like, go down to that 7-Eleven to get, milk and whatnot for her kids, so. But whatever, yeah. But anyway, I know that sign and stuff has been there. It was racist even when they put it up, but the world wasn't woke in the way that it's woke now,
Yeah.
Back then, it was
then
seen
that
as
was
cute.
fine.
Yeah, people were like, oh, now it's like, ooh, that's, yeah, that shouldn't be there.
I'm kind of surprised it's still there.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I mean, whatever. If they can get away with it, I guess whatever. They must have got grandfathered in.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Or sorry, you said that guy was her dad, not her grandfather. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Although it would have been funny if he came out and you were, would have been like, oh, that, that's not Ben, and be like, oh, Ben must be like his son or something. And then like an even older guy comes out.
Exactly.
Dude's like 120 and,
Like, Jesus, how many people work here?
Yeah. And he's like, hold on, Dad. Like, what the hell? Like,
what the fuck?
Methuselah comes out.
Yeah, right.
Like, oh, all right.
Like Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah. Like, oh, okay. Now it makes sense.
He's wearing dungarees and a ratchet.
Wiping his hand on a dirty rag, of course.
Yeah.
Because.
Good. Let it flow through you. Like, what? I mean, how can I help you?
Yeah. Yeah. How can I help you? Shit.
I also discovered oat milk.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I heard about it, and like Michelle's been looking for something to kind of like put a creamer in her coffee that's non-dairy, and she tried almond milk. And
well, there's another. I read something the other day. It didn't really get into it, but apparently oat milk is better for like the world than almond milk is too. Because I think they said they have to, like, the way they have to rinse almond milk is not good for, like, it's wasteful, basically. So
I believe it.
Me too. After making almond milk.
We bought this little carton of creamer.
Creamer? Like from
it's sweeter than I would want.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, she put it in her coffee and it smelled good. I'm like, I just got, like, a little measuring cup and just put a little bit in and just.
Yeah.
It was like liquid oatmeal cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, that is. And I know I've looked at it. When oat milk first came out, I remember seeing it because baristas love it because apparently it froths up like milk. So they can make like cappuccinos and shit out of it.
Yeah.
And I thought about making it because it's super easy to make.
Okay.
It's just like rolled oats, water, overnight, strained, oat milk.
And you can then still use those oats, right?
I would assume.
Well, because there's the difference, like for anyone who hasn't made almond milk, the big problem that I had with it is that you basically, once you strain it, you have this almond pulp that is basically not good for anything.
Yeah, it sucks.
Like, you can't cook with it. You can't do it. And at least not the last time I checked.
Maybe use it for like fertilizer or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I went into like some subreddit and even was asking, because it was some like vegan subreddit or whatever, and or not vegan. I'm sorry. Actually it was, because I was like, is there anything else you can do with this stuff? And everybody was like, throw it away, basically. So,
right.
And I was like, wow, that I don't like that. I feel like I'm wasting. So if you could still use those oats for whatever, even if it was just a, meatloaf or something, as a, instead of breadcrumbs, just use those oats or something. I'm just throwing shit at the wall. I
get it.
You know what I mean? Like, then you go, okay, well, I can use all the parts of this, so now I don't feel so bad. Because otherwise, I feel like I'm wasting, food, and I hate wasting food.
You want to be like an American Indian. Use all the parts.
Yeah. Right. Snout to tail, right?
Yeah.
Gotta use that oat snout.
It's the first time I had it. It's pretty delicious. I think I'm just going to start making it, though.
Now, what you bought a oat milk creamer, or was it just oat milk?
It was an oat milk creamer, so it's like 4 coffee and stuff.
Well, no. What the reason I was asking is because, like how you said it was a little too sweet. It could be because it's a creamer that.
Oh yeah, because like if you put a little splash in your coffee, it's not bad. But I mean, just like the little shot I did of it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It was insanely sweet. I was like, whoa. Like I said, it was like drinking an oatmeal cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, you have to be careful, much like almond milk. Make sure if you make it, you can control it. But I was going to say, if you're buying it, make sure you look to make sure they aren't adding, like, I don't know, cinnamon or whatever to it for the, to make it seem like it's an oatmeal cookie kind of a thing. Because, with almond milk, they have unflavored and then they have vanilla. And I accidentally bought vanilla one time and, doesn't go real good in macaroni and cheese.
Right. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that was my one thing about it is like it's got too many ingredients. That's why I was like, I can just make this.
Yeah, that was why I tried almond
stuff
milk.
Like soybean oil and shit. I'm like, why? Why is that in there?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, same with almond milk is literally all you need is water and almonds. You soak the almonds, like you said, you do with the oats. You soak them for a while, then you put everything into a blender, and you put everything into a blender and blend it up, and then you strain it. And what comes out is the almond milk, and what's left is that, garbage. So,
for sure.
But I also noticed with almonds and the price of almonds, I wasn't saving any money. Oats are different because oats are dirt cheap.
You get a big ass tub of oats for Aldi. I think they pay you to take them out.
I think
of the store.
so. Yeah,
that's how cheap they are.
Yeah. So that's a big difference there too. Like I said, with almond milk, the almonds were too expensive, so I was like, yeah, I'm not saving enough. The main advantage was, like you said, though, by making it at home, there's 2 ingredients.
Yeah.
3 if I want to add a little vanilla or something, that.
That's exactly what I was like. I was already like, well, I could do water, oats, and like real maple syrup or like honey or.
Right. Especially if you're doing it for coffee. Like if you want it for general purposes, it's another story, but
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, that's going to be my next move once we go through this little carton of it because we both seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, and it, like you said, dirt cheap to do and easy. So,
and it doesn't seem to like flare up any of her inflammation or anything like that.
That's good.
So.
Well, and by making it yourself, I would assume you're probably going to lessen the chance even more.
Oh yeah,
because you're not going to just
random bullshit in it.
Yeah. So.
I'm like, hey, hand me that bottle of Raid. Perfect. This is going to give us some tang.
Man, who doesn't love some Raid in their oat milk?
Right. Bugs.
Delicious. Yeah. Raid.
Right. I love those commercials for some reason. I'd probably, if I could find a shirt with the Raid bug on it.
I'm sure you can. I'm sure somebody has made one. Yeah.
If not, they should.
Yeah.
Assholes.
Well, if not,
listening?
If not, make your own.
Oh yeah.
Just get out your
Good
crayons
point.
and.
Hell yeah. Get on my crayons, son.
Crayons.
I also this is like my weekend of discoveries. This has all happened this weekend.
Okay.
I have one more discovery. We got a gift card, right?
Mm-hmm.
To Longhorn for Christmas.
Yeah.
And today was one of those days where we're like cleaning up around the house. We're doing stuff at her old house, just trying to clean that out.
Yeah.
Or like, we don't have time to really make dinner. She's like, oh, we got those gift cards. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go get some steak.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
One, I will never understand why people won't just sit at the bar and eat.
I'm with you. I mean, it's different if you have like 10 people, or a group. But if it's a couple
It
of
was
you,
just her and I, and there's gonna be it's gonna be like a 10-minute wait. And I look, and there's one guy sitting at the bar.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can we just sit at the bar? They're like, oh yeah, it's first come first serve. I'm like, psh. Sat down, got served immediately.
Yeah.
Plus, I also had a realization today too. At least the way this bar is set up, you have your back to the whole restaurant, and you just have like the taps, the liquor, the TVs, and the bartender. It's like you're not in a busy restaurant.
I like that. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like you almost kind of like can zone everything out behind you.
Right.
You just hear like the noise, everybody.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty dope.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. Yeah.
No, it actually was a nice little bar.
Mm-hmm.
Beer on tap, little weak. Bottle selection sucked a dick.
Yeah. Well, chain restaurant. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. But this is my discovery though, because it's still January, so I'm still dried out January, or whatever you call it.
Right.
No sugars, no grains, dude.
Right.
Although I dropped the ball today and ate some of the table bread,
You
but whatever.
son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Let everyone down.
Yeah, I know, right? But man, it's amazing how much cheaper going out to dinner is when you're not drinking beer.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
It really is,
Yeah.
because it was a $50 gift card. She got a filet. We got an appetizer.
Mm-hmm.
I got a ribeye with a premium side.
Oh.
And I got an iced tea.
Oh,
Right?
now I have to know what's a premium side.
Well, they're standard issue sides. They got like the baked potato, the baked sweet potato, your French fries, your steamed broccoli.
Right.
Well, one of the premium sides was cauliflower au gratin. And I'm like, I want that in my life because I
Okay.
want to see if I can replicate it.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
And it was delicious, and I can definitely make it.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it was, even if I didn't have that gift card, the bill was like $59, but for a giant ribeye and her filet,
Yeah.
that's not bad.
It's really not. Yeah.
And then, we had a gift card, so I tipped it. The bartender was great. I gave him a good tip because I always feel like people get shitted on when you use a gift card to tip.
Totally. Yeah.
So I didn't want to be that guy.
Right.
So I gave him more than I normally would.
Right.
But
$2.
whatever, you
Yeah.
know?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Flipped them and tossed them a coin.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, looked at the bill. I'm like, God damn, this is so much cheaper. I'm like, oh, you didn't have like 2 beers, which would have jumped us up in our $12 or more.
Exactly. Yeah. I know it is amazing, like when you go out and because it's like, you can go out like at all these places we go to, how many times, I'll go get a pizza and the pizza at most of the places is like $10,
Yeah.
If I have whatever, a soda type drink, or if I have because I'm not going to drink water with pizza because but
what are you, an animal?
yeah, right. So if I get a pop or something, it's like, okay, there's another $3, but that's generally it, like I'm done. It's $12 and I can get refills all night on that, kind of a thing. Whereas if I get, a beer, it's like, oh, damn it, I'm out of beer. I'll probably have a gum before the pizza shows up. I need another beer and another beer. And it's like, and that's it. Like, I'm not getting stupid. I get like 3 beers though. And now my bill's like $22 plus tip. And it's like, damn it.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm anticipating my first delicious beer because tomorrow after work, I've got some hop slams set aside for me at the Holloway beer store.
Nice.
Yeah, they put up on their Instagram. They're like, oh, pick us up Monday, and I'm like, if you still got some, we got you.
They
all
seem
right,
the liquor cabinet didn't even do a hold on it.
Really?
Yeah, they said they had plenty. So.
Oh, well,
I haven't gone and got any yet,
Yeah.
so I need to do that soon, because if I don't, I may miss it, but...
Well, I'm going to have it, and that'll be my first,
Hell yeah.
my first step back into the beer world.
Boy, that's a step for sure, too.
Right?
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, you know what else I
punch in the
decided?
face. What's that?
I'm rebooting All the Beers Pod soon, right?
Yeah.
And I maybe 3 or 4 months ago, I discontinued my server because I'm like, why am I paying fees for this right now? I'm not uploading anything.
Right.
I'm not promoting it. If people listen, they do. If they don't, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm just going to make it a YouTube thing.
Yeah, I guess you could. There's no reason you couldn't.
You know, I have this like I've got this like
well, and you
half
can
circle
always
bar behind me,
and you know how to pull the audio if you want to.
Yeah.
So.
I'm like, I have a nice webcam. I have a GoPro I could set up. I don't mind editing video.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're all short.
True.
So I was like, maybe I'm just going to do it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I just got to pretty up the wall behind. I might just get some fabric and hang it up or something.
Yeah, I was going to say you might want to pretty up your backdrop and, you know.
I mean, I have lighting too from when we were streaming. I have lighting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, so I guess look for that coming soon again.
Yeah, cool. I like that idea.
Yeah,
why not?
Speaking of that, we got to start doing our streaming stuff again too.
All right.
You know what I'm saying, Dogsy?
Yep.
I like doing it. Doing it live. Oh, wait.
Do it live.
That's what I like.
Right. Do it live. I have to ask this just because I'm going to be a dick, but did you ever upload the sweet and salty languages that we did?
I was editing them, and then
things happened.
Well, things happened.
Yeah.
And I left the house I was in, and everything was upside down and topsy turvy.
Okay.
You know what? That's going to be happening real soon, Brian.
Okay.
Let me. I wish I had chalk because I have a chalkboard right here. I should write it right on there.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Should go get some chalk.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. All right.
I think one of them. I'm almost done editing because I forgot how much hard work it is. Like.
Yeah. That's why.
I realized what. I realized while I was editing that video, because I have a whole folder of images I was using for the videos, right?
Right.
Because we gave everything Fieries.
Right.
So I had all these like preset Fieri heads, like 3.5 Fieri heads and stuff.
Except we didn't use that scale for this whole batch.
No, every episode we did a different scale.
Yep.
And I'm like, fuck.
Which, thinking about that now, it's like, I think we should, we're just going to have to pick probably one thing maybe, unless.
I'm fine with the Fieri scale because I have it all set up already.
Yeah. Plus, I like that one anyway.
That was.
Right.
I was thinking, because I want to say, I'm going to do a little spoiler here. I got trouble with this heater. I'm already have a goddamn heat stroke.
All right.
Jesus Christ.
They're no fun.
Yeah, right.
Well, I don't know. Wasn't heat. Well, whatever. Heat exhaustion, whatever you want to call it.
It still sucked.
Yeah. Oh, it sucked. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
No, the last one I was editing, spoiler alert, the scale we used was like hockey smile scale or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Or it was like missing teeth scale.
Yeah, it was something like that, yeah.
And so, I think it was the missing teeth scale, because I think you were like, I give it like 3.5 missing teeth, and then I'm like Googling hockey players of missing, trying to find people that have, and I did.
Yeah.
But it was so much more work than the previous sweet and salty languages.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we definitely, whether it's the Fieri scale or something else, we should definitely pick one thing and stick to it probably.
Like I said, we could do the Fieri scale because I have like 1 through 5 with all the halves already made to be easily dropped into a video.
Right. Yeah.
Which, by the way, we need to do more sweet and salty languages. You need to, I know yesterday was kind of a snafu because this weather's kicked you in the dick 8 times.
Man.
But you gotta have to come over. We have to.
I know.
We have to play podcast.
Dude,
Can you come on, play, Brian?
I was so pissed. Well, like, first of all, yesterday was a mess anyway, but I had set my alarm because when I woke up, my head was killing me, and I'm like, well, I'll go lay down, I'll take some medicine, and I'll set an alarm. Then when I wake up, if I'm not feeling it, then I figured I'd text you.
Right.
Because I don't want, I woke up at like 2:00 and it's like, I don't want to text you now because there's still 4 hours before we had kind of planned to get together. So it's like, I'll lay down for a little bit and we'll see, maybe it'll improve. And yeah, I totally set my alarm for, AM. And so
excellent work.
At one point I roll over and I was like, I open my eyes and I'm like, wow, it's really dark. That means it must be after 5 probably. And I look at my phone, and it was near 5, I think. Or I'm like, oh, shit. Or no, it was 6. I think it was like I texted you. It was almost 6, wasn't it?
I think so.
Because I think you had just texted me with like, hey, I'll let you know when I'm on my way. And I'm like, yeah, about that.
Yeah, I think it was something like, I think I was, I think I might have been like wrapping up my day in Stardew Valley. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get Brian, but hold on, I gotta finish this.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. Priorities, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
But man, and like today, it's like I can function and stuff today, but it's just so much pressure in my damn head from this weather. Like I told you, I think it's the first real like cold like system we've had where it wasn't like 1 or 2 days.
Yeah, it's just been brutal.
Yeah. So it's been like
I'm
our
looking
normal.
forward to tomorrow morning going to work. It's going to be like 14 degrees out.
Ah, balmy. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, good fun. Yeah. Ugh. So, yeah. Good shit. Except for the good shit part.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh.
But we
yeah, we'll definitely have to.
I definitely want to get back into doing. I love doing that live streaming shit we were doing.
Yeah.
I thought that was so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And it really wasn't, especially now, like once you had kind of a setup for us, it was super easy because, you didn't have to like set up a studio every time or whatever for us.
Yeah. And I mean, I still have all that crap set up. I'd have to like adjust the lighting in here. Obviously,
right.
Like you could see me. It's like orange because this weird torchlight I have.
Yeah.
But I have lights that are not orange.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I guess.
I just have to set them up.
Yeah, unless we just want to have a nice warm glow to us,
I mean, I'm sure it looks very warm in here.
Yeah, that's it.
Probably looks like I'm like developing, film or some shit.
No, silly. Then it'd be red.
Well, you know what I'm saying. That'd be great. Just get different colors. Be like, what the fuck is going on? I don't understand.
Yeah. Like, why are they broadcasting in their just red light?
Yeah,
weird.
We're broadcasting from bunkers.
Yeah, right. Yeah, from parts unknown. Yeah.
Yep.
Unless, someone tracks our phones.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of, I was listening to Reply All last night.
Mm-hmm.
And a few months ago, I listened to, and these are old episodes because, again, I'm way behind. But I was listening to this one. Did I talk about it on here? About how basically, Facebook, people think that, because you'll have an ad that pops up, right after you've talked about something, basically, and people are like, they've got to be tracking me, and initially...
They're listening, man.
Yeah. And originally what Reply All found was that it didn't seem that way. It's just that a lot of times it's because you've looked it up and you don't think about it, and that Facebook gets information from, like, everybody online, essentially. Yeah. Well, it came out a little bit later that Facebook actually does kind of, listen in and track some of your shit. But, big surprise. Facebook is terrible.
I'm not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well,
yeah.
So I'm listening to an episode last night, and they were talking about robocalls. And,
I thought you were going to say RoboCop. I got all excited.
Oh, no. No, real side note, you see they're almost done with the RoboCop statue in Detroit.
I did not see that.
Soon.
We should definitely go on a field trip.
Yeah, if we're up near that area, we should definitely go check it out, because RoboCop. So,
yeah.
So they were looking into robocalls because a couple of the guys were, talking about how they've been getting a ton of robocalls, but it goes even weirder. And I'm sure, I don't know if you've noticed this. I noticed this too. Like, any robocalls I get basically are from this area code now, or this
I've
area.
That too. Yeah.
And, they were wondering why, like how that works. And, the first concept was that basically these places that get the number, they were able to, through like cell phone companies, get a way of like essentially pinging your phone, like to find out where you were anytime they wanted to put the information in. And this info got to like bounty hunters and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. And there was this guy that owns a lot of, like, you'll see advertisements for like, just for sake of argument, I'm just going to throw like 1-800-CONTACTS or 1-800, foot fetish or whatever it ends up being, right? Some business.
Naturally.
So this guy is one of these kind of people who basically did the same thing people did with the internet, which was they were like, hey, people are going to want to call this number. So they bought those numbers.
Right.
And what they do is they sell a piece to different people in different areas. And originally the concept was, let's say 1-800-CONTACTS, which is an actual business. And I'm not saying they do anything nefarious. I'm just using an example here.
Oh, they're super nefarious. I know what you're talking about.
So basically,
evil.
Let's say they had stores in all 50 states, right? Well, if you call, they would basically use this technology to go, oh, he's calling from Ohio. Let's direct him to our Ohio 1-800-CONTACTS. That way you could get the business that's closest to you, right? That makes sense.
Right.
Nothing nefarious about that at all. Seems perfectly reasonable and helpful.
Seems okay.
Yeah. Well, what has turned out is that these, like the bounty hunters and these other businesses, like these robocalls and whatever, are finding they're using that to where basically it looks like it's a local call, essentially, so you're probably more likely to answer it. You know,
I mean, I would answer them at first, and now it's basically like, if you're not in my phone book, you can leave me a message.
Exactly. That's how I am too.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh wow, that's interesting and everything. It's still a little weird because, you know, the fact that essentially they could track you exactly where you are, or, you know, not exactly, but, you know, they could get a, hey, they're in this area kind of a thing, that anyone could have access to that because these cell phone companies were selling this information. That's pretty not okay. Because if you ask people, generally, if that would be something you're okay with, most people would go, God, no. You know?
Right. Yeah, exactly, right?
So the other producer on the show does a little digging, and she has a second hypothesis, which is, and she takes the one guy's phone and has a privacy expert kind of dig through some of the apps on his phone basically, and finds that some of the games on his phone, basically, if any app on your phone, if you've entered your phone number in it, basically, a lot of these apps would then have access to your phone number.
Oh, jeez.
Now, your phone number, for those who don't know, your phone number can be used for scam purposes in that, because if a lot of these robocalls, if you call that number back, you won't get the place that called you.
Right.
So basically, they're just using these phone numbers to call people, and they're not actually calling from the area or whatever. My assumption was that they're just paying people to call people from their cell phone at home because it'd be cheaper than running a call center. Right?
Yeah, right.
A bunch of people could do it from home. You're just sitting at home and you just make phone calls all day, basically. There you go. That's your overhead is paying them per hour. That's it, you know? But anyway, so what they found out is through these apps, like some of these apps, you can actually, they were actually selling like your location. They're selling, you know, like there's a lot of things that they're selling that they really, if you knew they were selling it, probably shouldn't be selling it, and different stuff. Now, a lot of the cell phone companies apparently now have said that they no longer sell that information.
But they did.
But on that podcast, they found that somehow places are still finding ways to get it. So clearly, what she was saying is basically, okay, Sprint, AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, whatever, they're not selling it. But what's happening is you're giving access to all these apps on your phone, and they are selling it.
Right.
And we're agreeing to it because who reads the terms, right? So think about it this way. All these games that are free to play, right? Forgetting the microtransactions part, but just the fact that they're free to play, but what you turn over to get their free to play game is you're essentially giving them access to a lot of things on your phone that they have no business having. But then that's how they're making their money, is they sell that to someone else.
Yeah, that's why I'm always skeptical about downloading free games.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm sitting at work or something, like on break or whatever. I'm just like, I feel like playing a game. I kind of peruse.
Yeah.
It always weirds me out.
Well, and now
half time I don't even download them.
Yeah, that's the thing, is because you so many of these rando games, you don't know. It's it's different if it's a big game, you know, but even then you never know what they're asking for. I mean, hell, the biggest the biggest violator of a lot of this stuff is Facebook. And Facebook is, a air quote trusted app, as far as, like, you assume that you're not getting malware by downloading it, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, oh, dude. So I just happened to walk into the kitchen tonight. NBC Evening News is on. On the NBC Evening News tonight, they're talking about dating apps and how a lot of the dating apps, including OkCupid and Bumble, as well as Grindr, Tinder, and I forgot the other one. Hinge, I think's the other one. Basically all sell personal information. Like, some of them even have sold sensitive information as far as, like, your sexual preference.
Really?
And whatnot. Yeah. And here's the beautiful part. Some of them were selling this information to Facebook. So basically, if you sign into an app using Facebook, you're giving Facebook access to pretty much everything you're giving that app access to. So, yeah. I'm going to have links to the 2 episodes of Reply All that I'm talking about. And I'm going to try to find the NBC News story and attach that too if anyone wants to really dig into this and read more for themselves. What I've been trying to find over the last night or two is there any sort of a database out there of, like, hey, you maybe don't want this app on your phone?
That is an excellent question.
Because if that kind of thing exists, I would like to find it. So if anyone out there knows of something like this, please let me know, because I want to run apps on my phone through it. And the one privacy guy even was like, if you only had like 5 apps on your phone, it wouldn't be a big deal. And he's like, but the fact that most people have tons of apps on their phone, he's like, they're all getting access to various stuff, essentially. And I understand, in a lot of ways, privacy, we've talked on here before. We've been giving privacy away for years. But there's a difference to me between giving away stuff so that they can go, oh, this is the kind of, like, a lot of the ones basically, they just use it for targeted advertising. That's what a lot of it becomes. That it's like, well, whatever, It bothers me, but not as much as, like, why do you need my phone number? Why do you need my router serial number?
Why do you need access to my photos?
Yeah, exactly. There's so many. Why do you need my location? Like, all these kind of things. Well, I mean, I know why on the location. It's actually talked about one of the Reply All, but there's a lot of the information that some of these apps are getting that it's like, you don't need this. And I kind of feel like there's a need for some regulation in this. Like, that
Right.
isn't there. I feel like it's a little too Wild West still, I think some privacy experts and whatnot need to kind of be assembled to help people, or to help regulate some of this stuff. Because there's no need for a lot of this stuff. Like, they don't need most of the information that they're collecting and selling and whatnot. And some of the places that this stuff's being sold to, people can't figure out what it is. Like, the one privacy expert was like, yeah, this one's showing that this stuff's being sent to this one thing. He's like, but I don't know what that is.
That's crazy.
Right? So, anyway. Old man rant? I don't feel like it is. I feel like it's more like consumer safety.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, a lot of people are like, conspiracy theory, they're spying on us, man, but they kind of are.
Well, I mean, it's not even kind of anymore.
For profit.
Like, they totally are. Now, the difference is, like, was it Bumble? I think their response to this report from NBC News was like, basically like, hey, it's in the terms. Like, that was literally their response.
The terms no one reads.
Right. And they're right. And it really is buyer beware. If you don't read the terms and what you're okaying, I mean, like, so, and I mean, I'm not saying I do, but man, it's, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really bothersome.
'Tis.
So, anyway, so there you go. Enjoy that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. I do what I can. I just try to help.
That's what we do here on Salty Language,
Yeah.
Brian. We help.
Yep.
You know what this show's is summed up with one sound effect is today. I can't even talk. Knowledge gone.
Yeah,
episode.
We're doing a lot of learning and stuff here.
Knowledge gone.
Yeah. Man. tell you, you just read this stuff and you're just like, Jesus, like, because again, like for me, a lot of it was like, why do they need that? Like in the one I was listening to, the Reply All, like I said, like some of the shit that these things are collecting are seriously like your router serial number, your ISP. Like, what the fuck do they need that for? Like,
yeah, they don't.
That stuff's only used for certain things, and that's gonna probably be to steal, like nefarious things.
Right.
So, anyway. Yeah. So did you see, well, I know, like, I sent you a thing about this, but, Eminem dropped a brand new album the other night, like, unannounced, just was like, boom, here's a new 20 songs.
I listened to a track today that was an Eminem track I'd never heard before.
Yeah.
It must be off of that.
Yeah, because he dropped its song, was it Songs to Be Murdered By, I believe it is. And it's based on the titles from an old Hitchcock thing.
Right.
And the main reason I want to talk about it, everyone can, like or not like Eminem. I don't care about that. But I sent a thing to you that someone had posted on Twitter, which was, there's a song on the track called Godzilla. And
that's the one I listened to, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Eminem.
That's why it sounded familiar.
So here, I'm just going to read. I'm actually pulling this up from our text. But this guy posted, and it says, in Eminem's new song Godzilla, featuring Juice WRLD, according to his math, he broke his record for words per second set by Rap God, which for those who haven't heard Rap God, even if you don't like Eminem, you should go listen to it because just the amount of words he packs into a short time is insane, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, in the final version of Godzilla, he raps 222 words in 30 seconds, averaging 7.4 words per second, compared to Rap God's fast part of 6.46 words per second. He crams one more word per second into this song than he did into that song, and that song was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like I said, even if you don't necessarily like Eminem, it's still an impressive feat by a human to be able to do that.
Very impressive.
Yeah. My thing is, I just don't understand whether it's him or the Micro Machines guy, like how the hell they don't trip over all those words.
I think it's practice.
Yeah, can you imagine having a sheet with a bunch of words on it and you're just reading off the sheet and you're just like, I mean, I'd be all tongue twisted and flipping all over the place and
I mean, maybe it's like, like we're talking about reading. The more you do it, the better you get at it.
Yeah. But I just love how, a lot of the tracks on this album were basically about how, people keep, saying that this rapper's the greatest or this rapper's the greatest. And, he's he's very much pulling kind of a Forgot About Dre vibe on a few of the songs.
Right.
Like, oh, hey, remember me? I changed a lot of shit. So, like I said, whether you like him or not, just it's an impressive feat.
It's like to each their own.
Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. Felt bad though, because Mac Miller's posthumous album dropped the same time. I was like, it'll do fine, but it's like really, Slim couldn't give him a week, like.
I mean, I guess not.
Nope, guess not.
I haven't listened to that either. I'll have to listen to both those this week.
Yeah, I haven't listened to.
Well, I
haven't.
Mac Miller. I like Eminem.
I listened to Eminem's, but I haven't listened to Mac Miller's yet. So, because the Eminem one is, I think it's like 20 tracks, but 2 of them are, there's an intro and an outro that are Alfred Hitchcock, basically.
That's cool.
Yeah, which I love because the end of the outro is him being like, this was Songs to Be Murdered to, and if you, what was it? It was something like, if you haven't, or if this has happened to you, good night, and if it hasn't happened to you, better luck next time, or something like that. So.
Oh God, excuse me.
Yep.
Gross.
Good stuff.
All that ribeye.
Yeah. I'm feeling bad for you.
Oh man, brutal.
Yeah, I'm certainly not feeling bad for you.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh man, so I had an interesting thing happen to me this week. So,
yeah, lay it on me.
So I posted a tweet, something to the effect of, why is it so hard to find a sugar mama that doesn't want anything in return and has low standards, or something to that effect, right?
Right.
And I got followed by an account that actually says like sugar mama on it and whatever.
Oh, jeez.
So of course, as a social experiment, I'm like, well, I got to look into this, So I DM her and was like, hey, what, it's weird seeing a sugar mama on Twitter because I've seen tons of sugar daddy accounts,
Right.
So she responds with this whole thing that basically is like, you know what? Let me pull it up here real quick if I can. All right, there we go. Son of a... I apparently don't know how to use my own phone. All right, so it says, where is it? I learned that a lot of people are just in it for my money. As you can see, not many are trying to get to know me or disappear, which I never said or noticed that at all. It says, so I have to make sure you, yourself, are as interested as I am. As I've had people run off and even watch the sugar baby flip their page to a sugar daddy, which that I kind of find funny. Like, you get funded just to give the money away? What the fuck?
A sugar... Oh, God.
So, says to begin, I ask you to Cash App me $20 first.
I see.
When I see you're willing to put yourself on the line, I'm sending back 400. She says 400, but I just want to say 400. If you still stick around after a day, there's another 500. After that payment, you just request whenever you'd like, as seen below. All I ask is conversation and possible meetups when you're comfortable. Her name is blah, blah. I'm not going to skip that. But enjoy having a good time, but also a good book and a quiet space with wine and a blunt. Yes, a blunt. Because, it's so weird somebody would want a blunt these days.
Whoa, slow down. You saying she smokes the marijuanas?
Yep.
Part of the Devil Lettuce Commission?
The left-handed cigarettes? Yep.
She must be a rebel.
420 friendly over here. I'm also horny 85% of the time and hungry 95%. Haha. And then she proceeds to send me pictures of WhatsApp payments, but basically anything except for there's a up in the one corner you can see the Abby is supposed to be her, I guess, and then you see a bunch of them with payments. But first of all, that's stupid easy you can fake all that stuff.
Right.
I could go in Photoshop and make something that looks exactly the same. So of course I didn't send the $20. And the reason I wanted to bring this up was, guess why, Tony? For educational purposes, because I want to make sure
okay. I mean,
that if so the first thing I did, of course, was look this up to see what kind of scams there are.
How many people even fall for that?
A lot. Not as much. It's weird because I don't. So apparently the bigger one is, of course, sugar daddies to sugar babies, because there's more sugar daddies. But when I looked on Twitter, I clicked on the hashtag sugar mama, spelled both ways, M-A-M-A or M-O-M-M-A. And, dude, there are a lot of them that pop up. I've just never seen them before. Yeah. But all of them are like, like retweet me first, blah, blah, blah. And from what I've read, the gimmick is exactly as that one says, which is, and this one's a little different because she asks for you to send via Cash App. Most of them, from what I've read, will ask for you to send them a gift card or some other way of sending them money. Give a bank account, of course, which, seriously, if you give someone a bank account, come on now.
Yeah, that's insane. Why would... Oh, boy.
So, it was just funny to me. It's like, if I just had $20 to waste, I would so do it just to see how they react afterward.
Right.
Because I also am curious. I'm not going to do it, but I'm also curious how this person would react if I was like, this is a scam. basically, because I'll bet they react similarly to how catfish do, which is usually the closer to the truth you get, the more outraged they become. And they try to make
Right.
it sound like you are the ridiculous one. So, yeah, I just, I had a good laugh at that because it's just like, yeah, no. And I responded with, I'm not sending you $20.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, why would I send you money? Like, what does that prove loyalty-wise? Like, if anything, why wouldn't this work this way, right? If you want to see if someone's loyal and going to stick with what you're doing, send them $20 and see if they continue to talk to you.
You should have completely stolen the line from Naked Gun. Be like, can you spot me 20? Here you go. Okay, here's $20. What? Tell me the information.
Damn it, you're right. I should have. I don't know. I really wish I had thought of that.
You mean only $20? Can you spot me 20?
Yeah, because it's like, no, why would I give you $20? Like, that doesn't make any sense. The whole concept of sugar mama / daddy is that you are paying and taking care of, the person. Like, you pay for their stuff. So, but on her Twitter, she's got like pictures of, alleged payments that have been sent out and whatever. And
That's hilarious.
But like I said, one of the first things all the scams mention is, how easy it is to fabricate those screens.
For sure.
Yeah. So if anyone listening is, encountered something like this, please don't send them any money.
Sugar mamas.
So, yeah. Because, I don't know. I had to do the due diligence though, because it's like, now it's social experiment time. I have to find out what's going on here.
Don't blame you at all.
But I'm clearly not going to give you any information or monies.
No, of course not.
From what I've read a lot of times, what some of these also will do is something like they'll, like these people will give them like PayPal information or something, and then they'll be like, oh, wow, that didn't work or whatever. And then basically they try to trick you into giving more information.
Right.
So, yeah, that's why all the things I read as far as them being genuine is to use Cash App or PayPal, because there's an element of protection too,
Oh, right.
So, yeah. Oh, really quick, I forgot. There's one caveat to some of the stuff I was talking about earlier with the privacy stuff as far as your phone number being sold through some of those apps.
Right.
Apparently, that's only for Android users.
Oh.
I guess Apple does not allow, from what I read, who knows, whether it's true or not, but from what I heard, Apple does not allow apps to sell your phone number without like your express consent.
Without saying yes, by all means.
But
you can have my phone number.
Well, but again, if you've logged in or if you've had an app send you a code via your phone number, you've given them your access to your phone number.
Son of a bitch.
So there you go. Yeah, if any app is like, oh, we can send you a one-time code, don't let them text it to you. Like, don't, from what the NBC News thing was saying, is like, don't give your phone number. And I heard this on the Reply All episode from a privacy person too, which was, do not give your phone number out to anything.
Right.
Basically, start protecting your phone number because it can be used. Because the real quick on it is like, there's a lot of sites and apps and stuff that like, if you forget your password, a lot of times they'll be like, oh, well, we can send you a one-time derp-a-der, right? Or we can send you a link to your phone. And well, if a scammer does that and they have your phone number, essentially they can have a dummy account to where it's sent to them. They can then change your account to their information.
What a bunch of bastards.
And flat out steal your account right out from underneath you. And then there's some of the scammers out there that will just sell the account if it's got like a good name to it or something like that.
Right.
Like if you were like, if your Snapchat username is fart or something like that,
Naturally.
Somebody will be willing to pay for it. So, yeah. Anyway.
Wow. I mean, here's what we need.
Yeah. There you go.
It's a knowledge gone kind of day.
Man. Whew. It is.
Wow. You feel about spent?
No,
after all that?
No. We got more. Speaking of feeling spent.
Oh, yeah?
What a great segue that was.
All right.
Do you know who Tyson Fury is?
Yes.
Okay.
Boxer. Like
yes.
the gypsy boxer dude,
The
right?
Gypsy King is his gimmick, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is from the mirror.co.uk, but it's from an interview with him. Apparently, for his upcoming fight with Deontay Wilder, it says that he's masturbating 7 times a day ahead of the fight, in preparation.
What, get up to hand speed?
I don't know, man. It says, speaking to the media the other day, Fury said, "I'm doing a lot of things I didn't before. I'm eating 5 or 6 meals a day, drinking 8 liters of water. If it's going to give me an edge, I'm willing to try it." It says, "I'm masturbating 7 times a day. Keep my testosterone pumping." I
guess.
I don't know that there's any science that backs him up necessarily on his theories here. Because usually athletes will abstain from any sort of sexual activity before, athleting. So, yeah.
I mean, I don't know about that one.
I mean, yeah.
Maybe, your body's like, good Lord, this guy's fucking like an animal.
Right.
And it's like, boys, turn up the testosterone pumps. We got to produce more.
Right. We're shooting dust.
He needs more jizz, boys. And it's like, the little factories get to work and shit.
With the old-timey animation, Yeah. Yeah. Where the characters are like
pistons.
Like they're like dancing as they're doing it. Yeah, yeah.
Yep, exactly. Like it's just like my work. Wow, guys, schedule overtime.
Yep. Oh man, he's a funny dude. Like WWE's done some stuff with him. Was it? I forgot what event it was. SummerSlam or whatever it was. They did some shit with him or Survivors. I don't remember what the hell it was now. But yeah, he's a different kind of cat. That's for sure.
Man, you think some of his opponents got beat up? Think of his poor dick.
Oh man, seriously. I mean,
Jesus,
man, how horrible would it be if he developed tendinitis right before the fight?
Right?
Like fuck, cramp.
7 times a day.
I mean, I guess I guess maybe he has someone else do it for him.
I mean, maybe that would be the pro move.
Yeah, just hire somebody.
Yeah.
Like, all right, here's what I need. Nothing creepy, nothing weird. I just need you to give me a little tug 7 times a day.
like this is actually part of my training routine.
Yeah. Well, the sad part then is, does he hire someone, or does someone on his already on his team have that duty?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, man, the new guy gets that duty.
Right. Forgive the pun, but low man on totem pole, right?
yeah, for sure. Exactly.
Shit. Okay, Bobby, you said you want to be a trainer. Like, oh, is this a spit bucket? Kinda.
Sure. Yeah.
Now get in there and help the
interview for the position of knuckler. Man, I don't know what it is, but I get to work with Mr. Fury.
Yeah. I assume I'm wrapping his knuckles with tape before the fight. Like, oh, no. That's you have to have special training for that.
Yeah, you might want to wrap your knuckles, though.
Let's just say you'll be shuffling them a lot.
Wow, that is something.
Yeah. I got one last thing here, which was, did you see how fast Conor McGregor dispatched of Cowboy last night?
I didn't see it, but I heard it was 40 seconds.
Yeah.
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 It kind of tells me that it might be time to hang up the gloves.
Yeah. Yeah. Cowboy was definitely in over his head. It was, which is too bad. I mean, the one thing I will respect about the guy, but also, you could criticize him for, depending on which side of the coin you want to argue, is that dude will fight. Like, anytime he'll take a fight. Like, he's always been that guy that when someone's opponent gets injured and it's like, oh shit, who do we get with like 2 days before the fight? And Cowboy's like, I'm ready, let's go,
Yeah. Yeah, he just like crushed a beer can on his head.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And he's been game in the past, for a lot of guys. He's put up, he's given them something to deal with, but boy, that kick that he got caught with, man, you could tell he got rocked. And it's similar to like what McGregor did with Aldo. Remember when he sidestepped and just crushed his face? Basically, it was just
right.
Just good opening strategy. So there must have been something they saw, I'm guessing, And because to lead a fight with a kick is weird.
Right.
You don't see that very often, so there must have been something they were like, hey, I bet he won't expect this.
Do this or whatever.
Yeah, so.
I mean, you know.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah. I will say this. I was shocked by how McGregor behaved after the fight was called. Like, he went over to Cerrone and was like, kind of gave him a little hug like a lot of the fighters will do and stuff, and wasn't like brash. He wasn't like, strutting and all that shit. He seemed a little more humble than maybe in the past, but
he's an older, wiser McGregor.
I think he respects Cowboy too. I think a lot of the fighters have a lot of respect for that dude,
Yeah, cause, I would say so.
Because he's been a badass for a long time, but I'm also with you. He might want to reconsider what he's doing, because
he's been in the game for a while, and I think he's got gyms open now.
Yeah. And you don't want to become
the training game.
You don't want to become a jobber.
No.
And that's, for lack of a better term, man, I kind of feel like that's what they did. I think he was kind of thrown to the wolves a little bit.
Right. That sucks.
I don't want to diminish his skill, but you know what I mean? Like, I almost feel like that's what was going on. Was, like after Tyson got out of prison, they aren't going to go find him a tough fight for his first fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cowboy's respectable enough that you're like, oh, he might turn into something here, but you probably knew he wasn't going to.
Right.
Anyway.
I actually have something fight related, though.
Oh, yeah?
Since we're talking about it.
All right.
This is just a little a post I saw on Reddit earlier in the week.
Yeah.
It doesn't have, it's just a GIF. It doesn't have any attached news stories, so it'll be in our show notes.
Okay.
But it's from a Taekwondo tournament in Korea, South Korea.
Right.
And it looks like Street Fighter. They have health bars projected.
I saw that. Yeah, that's cool.
It calculates like the vital hits and like the strength of the kicks and stuff.
Yeah.
And it gives each fighter a health bar.
Yeah. I dug that. Like, I don't know what kind of accuracy it truly has, which would be fun to see though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be great to see.
Like putting that up there and just see how accurate it is with some of the shots and stuff, like, but yeah, it was, it's a whole new element to it. Although in fairness, it's like, again, arguing the other side of the coin, you're like, I don't really know if something that's brutal really needs to be, well, Taekwondo is a little different from.
Yeah. And they're like in pads and shit when they're, kicking at each other.
But
I mean, I get it.
Yeah. Like if this was on like K1 or something like that, I might be a little more like, maybe we don't need to cuten this up, like, let's just leave it be brutal and, like, cause, head trauma shouldn't be,
glorified,
even though that's what we just
big games coming up.
Yeah, it's tough.
But I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. I thought so too.
It's creative. That's what I think the thing I really liked about it the most.
Yeah, and like from the presentation standpoint, they're always trying to do stuff. Like in the NFL, they've got the first down marker, that yellow line that's not really on the field, and they've tried different stuff with. You remember the failed Fox puck tracker? Oh yeah, I kind of dug that though. I thought it was a good idea. It's hard to execute it well, but I thought it was a cool idea. Right. Same here. But yeah, whatever. Whatever. Yeah, but I appreciate the try at least. Yeah, it's cool. It adds a little something to it. Yeah. Well, especially like say it's your it's your first time you're going to like a Taekwondo tournament. Like, I don't even know. They're just gonna be kicking. I don't understand when somebody gets knocked out. Right. And then you sit down and you see like their portraits and health bars and shit. And you're like, oh, I get it now. Yeah. Right. Now I know. Now I kind of can get into it. Yeah, and I think that's exactly the point. Is it allows someone who doesn't know the full rules or this and that, because that's the reason Fox did that with the hockey, was because a lot of people were like, it's hard to follow the puck on TV. Which it is. Yeah. It can be. Especially back then with crisp HD now, it's a little easier. True. Yeah, but it could be at times tough to watch. So they, I got it. Made sense. It was, worth a try. I mean, yeah, in the end, it didn't turn out as well as it could. I still wonder too, with like our technology now, I bet they could do it a whole lot better too. Yeah, I'm sure. Because you could probably build something right into the puck potentially that could be trackable, like a little chip or something in it.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I can sync it up with my phone or something.
That'd be crazy, right?
Wouldn't it?
Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, good on them for trying something. I mean, it's like I said, got to try something as a network. Same way, just like if you notice every year, you'll notice ESPN and all those things, they change the graphic elements of their presentation. Even if they don't really change a whole lot, they change the font or the placement or the
just
size.
Mix it up a little bit, huh?
Yeah, so it's not the same thing year to year. So makes sense.
Makes sense to me.
Yep. All right, that's all I got. You got anything else? I mean, aside from our questions, of course.
I got two more silly ones.
All right, let's go.
This one's going out to Phil, Dateline, Kansas.
Uh-oh.
This dude, this hero of mine.
Oh boy.
He's in a legal dispute with his ex-wife.
Yeah.
And he requested trial by combat.
Oh yeah. Right.
He asked for 12 weeks so he had time to secure Japanese samurai swords and told his wife that her attorney could fight for her instead of her fighting. And as of this news story I have, the judge hasn't made a decision yet.
I mean, if it's in the law, I mean, the real thing in this is if it is still on the books as something you can do, maybe the lawmakers want to revisit this, and go, maybe we should take this off the books. Oh, man.
I mean, from just because I didn't read the article, I just thought the headline itself was hilarious.
Right.
It basically sounds like that the dude who is requesting trial by combat is his ex-wife and her lawyer have destroyed this guy legally.
Yeah.
And he was basically he said that, he's meeting their absurdity with his own. Thus requesting trial by combat.
I mean, oh, jeez.
I just love the fact he requested 12 weeks too, so he could properly secure Japanese samurai swords.
Yeah, right. That's so dumb.
So I got that one.
All right. And
were you aware that Cheetos has officially announced a name for cheese fingers?
No.
I mean, you know what they're called. They're Cheeto fingers. That's what everyone calls them.
Yeah,
Cheeto fingers.
Right.
Those creepy orange, crusty fingers that, Cheeto fingers.
Right.
Do you know what Cheetos is calling these things?
What?
Cheetos.
No. Cheetos fingers. Cheetos is he's an actor. That's Don Cheadle.
Yeah, and it's not like it's like just the powder itself. They're calling it Cheeto. The quote is, my hands have Cheeto on them. Did you stain my shirt with Cheeto?
Oh my God. How many cheat jokes are there?
Yeah, I'm sure they're out there.
Jesus Christ. No thank you.
Yeah, I will never refer to Cheeto dust as Cheetos. Never.
I understand them trying to give it a name. But here's the thing. First mistake they made, why wouldn't you open this up to the public? And I don't mean that they get definitive say, but you at least say suggest your name.
The public is clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, there's going to be Cheeto McCheeto face.
Right.
That's fine.
You just throw those out. No problem. Like I said, you just do that, and then as a company, maybe you pick, I don't know, the top 4, maybe let people vote, or you don't. I don't know, whatever.
Right.
But why wouldn't you do something like that? Hey, suggest the title. If we pick yours, you get, I don't know, Cheetos for a year or some bullshit, it's just a promo waiting to happen. Why would you not do that, dumbasses?
Sure, you got to sift through the things like Adolf Cheetler. Because that's for sure going to be on there.
Well, yeah, because you would suggest it. They're like, sir, please, you've suggested this 985 times. We are not using this. Oh, man. But second of all, yeah, Cheetos can fuck right off. I'm sorry. That sounds stupid.
Yeah.
Also, Cheetos sounds like a thing, right?
It sounds like a snack.
It doesn't sound like a powder type of a thing. It sounds like
a new thing they made.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like it's cheese noodles is what they're calling it. Oh, we'll call them Cheetos,
Like if Cheetos, if Chester Cheetah started slinging mac and cheese.
Yes.
Which might be a brilliant idea.
I feel like Didn't they do that before somewhere? Was it like
I
Burger
don't
King
know.
or somebody like that? I think it was Burger King did it. I think it was like the Cheetos, like macaroni and cheese something, or I forgot what it was. Anyway.
I mean, I could kind of see a little like oven baked mac and cheese with some crunched up flaming hot Cheetos
Which
on top.
I've totally seen on Food Network or one of those places before.
That seems like it's something that should exist.
Yeah, I've totally seen that, which I can understand. Did you see, like, also, they have, like, another level of Flamin' Hot now?
Really?
Yeah, they have, I don't know what they call it, but it's, like, extra Flamin' Hot or something.
Nakatomi Plaza.
No, yes. Yeah, here we go. Burger King Flamin' Hot mac and cheese.
Oh, I guess it was a thing.
Or, I'm sorry, mac
Here's
and
me
Cheetos.
thinking I'm brilliant.
Yeah, that's what it was. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. It's basically like mac and cheese bites with like Flamin' Hot Cheetos, you know, on the outside.
Right.
So I thought they did. I couldn't remember. I was like, I swear they did something like that.
I mean, one of my favorite subreddits, which actually I rarely comment on Reddit anymore, but I had to on this.
Yeah.
And this is all food we're talking about, would be on this subreddit. It's just called The High Chef.
Oh, okay.
And it's people that just get stoned and cook like weird food.
Sure.
And some of it's entertaining, hence why I subscribe to it.
Right.
And this guy just posted, it was a like a paper plate with like Triscuits and lunch meat and cheese slices.
Yeah.
And like, I think carrot sticks. Clearly he's making a charcuterie board.
Sure. Yeah.
And the caption or it was just called, it just said chartreuse.
The old charcuterie board, you know.
I can only imagine this dude was just blown out of his mind. So I had to put, I love a good chartreuse board. You know?
A lot of people have trouble with that word, you know. It's a lot.
That's why I go boop boop charcuterie, and it spells it out for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The old chartreuse board.
The old chartreuse board. I love it. Oh man. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I have one more thing because this was posted by. Was it Garrett? I think that posted this in our group. That there's ICP craft beer.
Yes, I like tried to burn that out of my head.
Apparently, and I don't know shit about ICP stuff, so I'm sure this has something to do with their, you know, terminologies. Also that. But apparently they have 3 frothy fucking flavors. I'm reading right off the ad. And they have Punk Slap, which appears to be some sort of grape or something. I don't know. I can't read it because it's not zoomed in. But I'm trying to look through the. Oh my god, that's funny. Okay, so the 3 flavors are Punk Slap, Blue Balls, and is that Needin' Wet or Naden Wet? However the fuck you say it, I don't care. So it'll be available at Juggalo Weekend 2020 in LA, which unfortunately Tony and I can't make this year.
So bummer.
Yeah, whew, man. I'll say this. I would, if I could get my hands on this, I would, but not to drink. Because I'm sure this probably, unless they keep making it, this is going to be worth some money.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because there's a lot of this ICP garbage that's worth a lot of money because they don't make a lot of it.
Yeah.
You know? Although I will say, with you having all the beers pod,
I mean,
if someone can procure this for us,
some whoop dub,
I'd totally be in to try it with you. But I'm not going out of my way to try to get it. I mean, unless it's like available locally, which I mean, it seems like wouldn't be unreasonable.
You would think because it's ICP is out of Detroit, you would think that it would be available locally.
Well, because I was looking to see what the brewery name is. Okay, here we go. It's made by Riverside, California's Inland Empire Brewing. So that's why. So
it must be made for I bet you specifically for this weekend.
Because I want to,
they're advertising.
I want to give all of the Michigan breweries props for not participating in this.
Yeah, right.
No, anyway, whatever. I mean, I wish I could see what the freaking flavors are.
I know that I'm actually like perusing the internet trying to find it too.
Yeah, because I can't see in the.
Because the images suck.
Yeah, exactly. I can't zoom in on them, otherwise I would, But that's about the only thing I'm curious of, because given that they are so color coordinated, it makes me wonder, because, again, it's no secret, they Juggalos like Faygo, so I'm actually surprised somebody didn't try to do like a Faygo infused beer concept, like they did in Detroit for that one beer fest.
Absolutely.
But I guess then they'd have to, partner up with Faygo, and which I can't see necessarily Faygo saying no, because they've probably, like I've said before, Faygo probably single-handedly exists because of ICP at this point.
Yeah, for sure, right?
I mean, or if not, that's a lot of that damn market. So, anyway. Enough of us talking about fucking Juggalos. Let's move on to something that's actually music. We're going to do our song.
Oh.
Of the
Hell
week
yeah. I don't really have anything for the old,
Yeah, I know. We have no drops for anything.
Yeah, not for this at least.
That's all right. So,
there you go. We're all excited.
I guess. Yeah. Last week, the question or the prompt was a song. Was it a song with color in the title, I believe?
Yes.
So, yeah. Sorry, which you got there, sir?
We had one answer on Instagram.
Okay.
And it was from our buddy Mr. Jackal, which it's MISTER Jackal on Instagram. If you want to follow him, follow all his little shindigs and projects he gets himself wrapped in on.
Including the Inner City Geeks podcast.
Hell yes. He picked Paint It Black. Okay.
Which makes sense. That's why I could see that one jumping into your mind fast. Because it's a great song. It's been covered by like a billion different bands.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Out
of curiosity, is your favorite version of that song the original or a cover?
I like the original.
Okay. That's where I
really
am too.
do.
I dug,
I'm a fan of the Stones.
I dig Job's cover of it.
Right.
But, I like the Stones version of it. Anyway.
I don't think I answered this last week.
Okay.
Because I was like, man, I just couldn't think of any. But my immediate one is Blue on Black, Kenny Ray Shepherd. I heard it this morning.
Right.
I'm like, God, this song's fucking great.
Yeah, I got so goddamn tired of it because it was played around here a lot back in those days. But that's it. Yeah, it's a good song, good bluesy song.
Exactly.
Bluesy rock, I should say. Whatever.
Bluesy rock.
Yep.
But other than that, that's all I have on my end.
I was just thinking. I didn't check Twitter. So, I guess I'll be doing that here real quick. So,
I thought I saw someone answer somewhere because, there's all the social media getting funneled together and shit. Sometimes it gets confusing. The loot drop question we had too.
Oh yeah, you're right. I
don't remember where that was at though. Might have been on Twitter.
It was on Twitter. You're right.
Okay.
I forgot. I'll have to check that too. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. So, because I was thinking I had an answer for the song, but I don't. So,
we've already said at the beginning of the show before we was recording that we suck and forgot to post it too.
Yes. So we certainly didn't help our cause this week.
No.
We goof. If anybody out there wants to become a social media intern for the show, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
If anybody's got some free time and wouldn't mind posting some stuff for us, we would definitely appreciate the help.
Because free time's not something that's a luxury in our lives.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Or just remembering. We're so bad
yeah, that too. Or braining.
just being functional.
We suck. That's what we're trying to tell you, everybody.
Yep. All right, here we go. We'll get to that one. I'm going to do... Well, let's do this real quick because I have less answers, I think, for it. Let's do the loot drop one, which I was really hoping for more because I think that's a really fun question. Maybe, you know what? Here's what we're going to do.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to read the couple that I have, but this is going to be another one. I'm going to extend it because you don't have a Q of the W for this week, right?
No, I don't.
Okay. So we're just going to roll this forward because I want to get more answers for this one because I really like this one. I think people could have some
Are you
more fun
saying,
with this.
Brian, Q to W? It's 2 weeks in a row?
Yeah, another one this way.
Oh, shit.
So from our pal Philip, who can be found at Philco816 on the tweets, said the obvious for him would be beer and meat snacks, which that's a good call.
Truth.
He said, but a more fun answer would be a book on random baseball facts. That one plant and random coin changed because I never empty my damn pockets. And my response to that, by the way, was got to empty the coin purse once in a while, which I fully hope he got the double meaning of that.
I would assume so. I mean, pull a Tyson Fury.
Right. Well, I mean, 7 times? That's a lot. Yikes. Forgot what I was going to say, Tony. Oh, yeah, just side note, man, went to the local meat store to pick up some delicious grass-fed beefs this week. And,
right.
Oh, man, they had some, what do they call it, like hunter sausage or whatever?
Oh, land joggers.
Yeah, I had some of those, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to need some of them. And, man, be crushing those. Slicing up a little bit of cheese with it. Nothing fancy, but just some cheese, and just have.
Oh, you made some chartreuse.
Yeah, I made a chartreuse board. So, yeah. Man, I forgot how much I enjoy those. I'm glad I didn't get a lot of them, though. I got like 6 of them,
Yeah, I have a little Polish butcher up the road from me now.
Yeah.
And they have a variety of ones they make in there, and they're all fucking delicious.
That's rough, man. That's rough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good because, when you go in there, you get some delicious meat snacks, but also I really don't need tons of those laying around,
Yeah. They every time I go, I'm like, yeah, give me a pair of those because because they're connected to the sausage.
Oh,
it looks
right.
like delicious nunchucks.
Yeah. You mean Yumchucks?
Absolutely. Do I mean Yumchucks?
Oh shit! Probably going to be the name of the show. All right. So yeah. Damn it! So terrible.
I loved it.
So terrible. Where's the loot drop one? There it is. And Fluffy Bunny Ash says for her loot drop, she dropped her katana, a key to the secret area where you can look at all her Funko Pops, and like $100 worth of loonies and twoonies, because Canadian, and it would be so annoying for anyone to have to pick up and carry that much money in coins.
That's funny.
So, agreed. Like, geez, really? It couldn't have been, paper money?
That son of a bitch.
Yeah. Which, the fun part would be, like, it'd have to be in, like, for the max annoyance, it would be in, like, multiple denominations. That way, each one counts as a slot in your inventory. Or something like that, I know that's not how coins work in games generally, but it does now.
It does now.
Because I make the rules, damn it. All right. Back to the song question, which was a song with a color in the title. Fluffy Bunny Ash says hers would be Blue by Eiffel 65, and she gave me a link to a remix that she prefers. So I will send that to you, even though I don't know if we can find that for Spotify. But she says also to Hobie it, Everything Black by Unlike Pluto, because it's a favorite song of her girlfriend's.
Oh, fair enough.
So, yeah, there you go. I'm just going to...
Oh, God, my phone. But John will just bounce this thing off the goddamn floor in the basement.
Yeah.
Everything Black. Added to the Song Q to W playlist, which you should follow on Spotify.
Right. Link will be in the show notes. Tony, pro move is go get a little carpet square to put down around you there so you don't...
But then I might sit down and expect snacks.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Well, that's why you have your Yumchucks.
That's true. Good point.
There, I emailed you the link and whatnot for that.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Cheeto Bandito says...
The Cheeto Bandito?
Right. And not to be confused with Cheeto Bandito.
His evil brother.
Fuck, oh, yeah. It's he's got a goatee made out of Cheetos.
Naturally.
Terrible. That'd be the worst person ever. People trying to lick off his goatee. That's strange. Anyway, he says... Oh, actually, he answered both in here. I didn't see he answered the other one. So his song that mentions a color, Americano, Roger Klein and the Peacemakers.
Right, Americano?
Yeah, Americano. You know, like a coffee.
Wait, what?
I don't know. It sounds like a coffee, doesn't it?
Kinda, yeah.
I feel like it is, isn't it? Isn't Americano something? Cigar, maybe? Cocktail? Cocktail.
There you go.
Americano.
Americano by who?
Oh, I don't know. I don't have that link.
Goddamn, Brian.
Yeah, settle
Killing
down.
me.
By Roger Klein and the Peacemakers.
There it is. Boom. Added. Found
All
it.
right.
Found it, Cheeto.
Yeah, see, I was right. While traditionally brewed coffee is made by letting hot water drip down through the grounds, an Americano first begins as an espresso shot. It's
There you
made
go.
when hot water is added to the espresso, transforming the shot into a less intense but just as delicious cup of coffee. What? How do we water something down and say that it's an Americano?
I don't know.
I feel like we should be making it stronger.
I unfortunately cannot put Fluffy Bunny Ash's song into our playlist because this particular remix is not on Spotify.
Oh. Well, you could put the. I guess you could put the song, just not the remix.
Yeah, I don't. There's multiple remixes. I don't know which one to choose.
I don't know either. Maybe we'll leave that to. Leave that to.
Yeah, I mean, if she could suggest a Spotify version of it, you know, I know what song it is. You know, I know the song.
What?
But I'm sure, you know, the remix you pick is great. I have it pulled up. I'll listen to it when we're done recording.
Yeah. Okay.
But.
Okay. Well, and Cheeto also says, what loot would he drop if he died? Said an old school 3-blade pocket knife and a pair of Chuck Taylors.
I mean, that's a dope drop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. I can live with that.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the question or responses we have.
Beautiful.
So for this week.
This weekend.
Again, you know, this comes
QW.
from the deck of Game That Song prompts.
Which I got my copy of.
Sweet.
And I've been reaching out to the fellas because they haven't got back to me since I last talked to them about coming on the show.
Dang it.
So it's still in the works.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You can find them on Twitter. I believe it's on Twitter and Instagram, both at Game That Song.
I think you're right.
So you can go find out. You know, there's, you know, excuse me, a link to buying the game and whatever in there. So, and for those who don't know, the way the game works essentially is you flip a card over and it'll have a prompt on it. Everyone picks a song, and the way it's meant to be played is that everyone, you know, pulls the song up on, you know, whatever, Spotify or whatever music thing you have on your phone.
That's what I dig about it, is you played a song.
Yeah, and then everyone votes on, you know, the best one or whatever, and, you know, then the person who gets the most votes wins the round, I guess, however you want to word it. So this week's is a song to play that mentions Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of want to go up to like the Friday theme song, you know, from the Ice Cube.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of the song though, but I can hear like the beat in my head.
Yeah. The first song that popped into my head is is it Friday I'm in Love?
Oh, right.
That's the first one that popped into my head, oh wow, I can't think of the name of it now. Sunday Bloody Sunday. Duh.
Oh, well, should we? Are you hobing?
I'm hobing it. Yeah, I'll just go with those two. There's
By
others,
the way,
I'm sure.
the song I'm thinking of is called Friday.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty simple then, huh?
Yeah. So Friday.
Really quick. I mean, seriously, how did neither of us? I mean, Friday.
Friday I'm in love.
No.
I know, right?
Just, yeah. Ugh.
Sunday. Bloody Sunday.
Yeah.
Boom. Our playlist is becoming epic.
Level up.
Hey, there's one follower. Come on, people. Let's step up these numbers. These are rookie numbers.
One? Damn. That's way more than I expected us to get.
Yeah. Wait.
Oh, man. Again, the link to it will be in the show notes. And the question again is, or the prompt, however you want to look at it, is a song to play that mentions Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
There you go.
There's a lot of them, too, I'm sure, with the just days of the week or whatever in there.
Yeah, I'm sure there's ones we're not even thinking of.
Oh, God, yes.
That's why I can't wait. That's why I like hearing some of the answers from our lovely. We got to make sure we post these.
Yeah, I guess. All right, so I think that's it.
I think that's a show.
Yeah. So, I guess, as always, head over to saltylanguage.com. Click on everything you can see. Because, I don't really have a reason. It's not like we get more money if you click more things, but.
No, but it's fun. Clicking buttons is fun.
That's true. Everybody likes clicking buttons, right?
Right? Exactly. Yeah, baby, click that button. Tyson Fury, that button.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Let's calm down there.
Oh, okay.
Right. If you haven't, we haven't mentioned this in a while, but I mean, maybe rate, review, and subscribe if you haven't already. We would appreciate it.
5-star bowl wash.
Yeah. And not just, don't just subscribe to the podcast, but, subscribe to our YouTube channel, the, Spotify playlist, our magazine. We don't have a magazine. I'm just kidding around.
We should, though. A quarterly, magazine.
It isn't.
Like tabletop magazine.
It isn't like I don't possess the skills to do it.
How funny would that be if we put out a magazine?
Yeah. I mean, we could. I don't really want to, but we could.
It's it would be like super simple, like a highlights.
Yeah, basically.
Just have word searches and shit in there. People actually probably think it's really cool.
I'd be into that. Yeah. I like this idea. This is way better now. All right, now I'm back in. Anyways, head over to the website. All the links will be there. Past episodes, the enthusiast episodes are available over there. And what else? I don't know. And if you want to reach out to us, you can find us, or you can email us at saltylanguage@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at salty_language. I'm at Stunami.
I'm at Monotony. And, of course, we're also on Instagram. We're on Snapchat, kinda. We're on Facebook, but we don't really look at it. So your best bet is Instagram or Twitter, to be fair.
Right. For the moment.
Yeah. For the moment.
Tony hasn't started a TikTok account yet, so.
No TikTok and no Pinterest. I have a Pinterest, but I haven't looked at it in a long time.
I have no Pinterest. Take that how you want.
The reason I have it is
because you love it.
Recipes and
fashion.
That's how I found my beard oil recipe.
Yeah, like I said, fashion.
Yeah. So, you never know when I might want to hand carve I don't know, like a outlet cover or something.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so yeah, go follow us, on all the stuffs if you haven't. The links are on the website also. They're also in the show notes, for social medias and whatnot, for I think most of them. So there you go. Yeah, so I guess until next time, have a beer, you'll be fine.
Oh, wait, Brian.
What? Did we forget something? Oh, yes.
Watch your back! Danger!
Entertainment. Forgot we're part of the Danger Entertainment Network as well as the Tangent Network. Jeez, I felt like I was forgetting something, but I couldn't think of what it was. So, all right. There we go. Now I think all the business
now
is
we're
done.
good.
Yeah. All right. So now go have a beer. You'll be fine. Or don't if, you're doing dry January.
Yeah.
Have yourself
yeah,
a nice
exactly.
peppery water. Or not peppery water. Spicy water.
Spicy water.
Peppery water.
And stay salty and stuff.
And go have some Yumchucks.
Dude, that's what like Michelangelo had like pizza bread.
Yeah.
Yumchucks.
Delicious.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd eat some,
I like it.
I'd eat some bread right now.
What if it's a food truck and they serve the food with nunchucks and it's called Yumchucks?
That seems really weird.
Maybe slightly dangerous.
Wait, I got it. So instead of chopsticks, they're chopsticks, but they're attached just by a loose enough thing so that you can still use them as you'd like to. But they also could be used as nunchucks.
I mean, that could be an actual product.
Yeah. Now we're talking. And think of how dangerous they'd be too, with the pointed ends. Great.
Dude, I'm yeah, that might actually be a thing.
Might be. Yeah.
All right, we should stop talking about it. We might be millionaires.
Yeah, you're right.